All right, everyone. So we have an update here about WWE and Netflix. Here's what Michael Cole said. In this day and age, you have to be very careful with what you say, even with Netflix. We thought we'd be able to get away with a few other things, but Netflix is very strict with that too. Guys like us who are talking, like especially working with Pat, who has no buffer, you have to be ready, really careful with what you say. So, look, it looks like that's the case with WWE, and I don't know if WWE, like to me, I'd be shocked if WWE went into these negotiations thinking, "Oh, Netflix is going to be this way," signed the deal, and then Netflix is not that way. So this is clearly something that WWE was okay with before they signed the deal, right? This is something that had to have come up. With that said, I think Netflix is really missing the boat with this thing. To me, there's a big difference between things that are just, like in the attitude area you talk about, where, at the time and even 2, 3 years ago, I'd probably say, hey, there was nothing wrong with the attitude era. It was great. Give us back the attitude era 110%. I've changed my mind a little bit in the sense that maybe there are things here and there that went over the line as they were testing those limits, and you don't need to bring back all of those. And I think you just didn't really see it in the Attitude Era, but you saw it in the years that went on. Before the PG era, which is one of the reasons they went PG, where I think WWE was trying to capture the magic of it, and they were just kind of being inappropriate to being inappropriate, and that's wrong. If you're just being inappropriate to be inappropriate, people can kinda sense that, and they're just like, "I don't know if I like this." Whereas, if it's something that's just genuine and it's a little bit inappropriate, people, I don't think, care as much, and so I think that's the difference between the Attitude Era and the corresponding years where I think things went a little bit out of hand as they were trying to recapture that magic. So I understand completely why Netflix would not want that version of WWE to be back, just to be edgy. But I think you're missing that people, let's talk about family friendly presentation. Like, okay, so certainly you got to make sure it's age appropriate for kids, and I completely understand that because WWE, there's so many kids that love wrestling, and to just kind of say F you to them, we're going to put on this product and kind of take that environment, I think that'd be wrong. I have no problem with having it so that kids can also watch it and parents are okay with their kid watching it. But that doesn't mean that family friendly means it's, the most PG thing in the world. You can have a little bit of swearing here and there. You can have a little bit of inappropriate stuff here and there. And I think if Netflix is really being strict, like don't say that, don't say that, they're missing the boat on what draws people to wrestling and what makes good product. Okay, people understand what the real world is like. They don't need everything to be perfect on the TV screen. That's one of the reasons the Attitude Era was so successful because you had previous to the Attitude Era, you had this entire generation of wrestlers who were fantastic and the product was awesome, but they were larger than life, like superhero, perfect this, perfect that. And then you have a steroid trial and all these kind of allegations come out against different things, as the sport got more popular. And it's like, okay, so they were just playing it on screen, So all of these, take your vitamins, you could be as big as Hulk Hogan. That's not entirely true, right? Because Hogan was doing steroids. Um, and so I just think when the Attitude Era came around, it was more of an embracement of, look, all right, F you. Like that's how we feel about things. Okay. Stone Cold hates his boss, so he beats him up. Like it's stuff that people want to see. And it's certainly an exaggeration of real life, but it's real. And parents are fine with in little bit of, spots here and there of their kids seeing that. And so, that's just in my personal opinion. If Netflix, really is coming down on WWE about things like this, I think it's a real problem. And I think it's something that could hurt the product overall because people they want a version of realism on this thing. You can have that kind of comic relief within, you can have versions of comic relief within a TV show and not have the whole thing be that. You could have people like the New Day at their time, when they were, or even I guess the New Day before they turned heel, where, it's just some funny stuff going on. The kids can get excited, all of that kind of stuff, or Carlito cracking a joke here and there. But we also want storylines like CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, where these guys just hate each other and they're going to beat the crap out of each other and all of that. Or on the other end, we have Dom and Rhea and Liv Morgan and how they don't like each other, and Liv Morgan steals Rhea Ripley's man and all that kind of stuff. Like that's a real storyline, right? That you're emotionally attached to. So far, I don't think there's been anything egregious where I'm like, man, this is garbage. But if Netflix is really going to be clamping down on WWE as it moves forward, that will be a major issue. So thank you all for watching.